Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. Today, we are diving into part 6 of 2001: A Space Odyssey by Arthur C. Clarke. This is the final chapter in this book club series. The next book that we are going to get into is Common Sense by Thomas Paine. I hope you all have enjoyed this content so far. If you have, please let me know in the comments. And let's dive into part 6 of 2001: A Space Odyssey. So let's start with chapter 41. Which is titled Grand Central. David Bowman is alone on Discovery 1, and he's orbiting the planet Saturn. Hal is dead. The rest of his crew is dead, and he's been watching this giant black slab, this monolith, as he's been floating around in space near the moon of Lepidus. This slab is exactly like the one that was found on the moon years prior, with these perfect dimensions of 1, 4, 9. The monolith that Bowman sees reflects no light at all, and Bowman decides to go and investigate. He climbs into one of the ship's small space pods and flies towards the monolith. As he gets closer, his instruments go crazy. The slab is not just black, it is a hole in space. Radar beams vanish into it, light vanishes into it, then suddenly, the monolith disappears. In its place is a swirling circle of light, like a storm made of stars. Before Bowman can even react, the pod is pulled in. He feels no acceleration, but the speedometer climbs past the speed of light. Time slows down, the walls of the pod begin to glow. He hears a sound like a million voices whispering at once. Then everything dissolves. The pod, his body, the stars, everything turns into pure energy and vanishes into the light. Then we dive into chapter 42. And chapter 42 is titled The Alien Sky. After Bowman has been sucked in to the Stargate, he wakes up, and he's still in the pod, but he's no longer in the solar system. He's flying through a tunnel of light and color. Outside the window, entire stars are born and die in seconds. A red giant collapses into a white dwarf. A galaxy spins apart like smoke. He sees a giant web of light stretching across the universe, the structure of space itself. Then the tunnel ends. The pod shoots out into a new star system. There's this large red star and a tiny, super hot white dwarf orbiting it. The pod falls towards a flat, silver plain that stretches to the horizon. There are no mountains, no craters, no shadows. The sky is dark, but the plane grows with its own light. The pod lands gently. The engines shut off. Bowman opens up the hatch and steps out. The air is breathable. The gravity is Earth normal. But this is not a planet. It is a constructed place, an artificial room the size of a world. So these two chapters, when you're reading them, they remind me a lot of Interstellar, and specifically the scene where in Interstellar he's going through this time warp, this wormhole, this black hole substance, and he's going through space and time. And as a reader, as I'm reading chapters 41 and 42, and Arthur C. Clarke is explaining everything that's going on within the Stargate, that's kind of how I visualize the scene, exactly like how it was in Interstellar, with that character going through space and time. But let's get back into 2001: A Space Odyssey, and we'll start back with chapter 43, which is titled Inferno. Suddenly, the white dwarf star explodes. It turns into a nova, a blast of radiation that should kill everything. Bowman runs back into his pod. He seals the hatch. He waits to die. But nothing happens. The plane absorbs the explosion. The sky changes from black and deep blue. A wind blows. Clouds appear. The temperature rises to a comfortable level. Then, around the pod, walls rise out of the floor, a ceiling forms, furniture appears, a bed, a table, a television, a bar with cans of beer and packets of frozen food. In less than a minute, Bowman is inside a perfect copy of a luxury hotel suite from Earth, circa 1990s America. He turns on the TV. It shows old soap operas and commercials, and he opens up a can of beer, and in it is this blue substance. And then he starts opening up everything else that is in the kitchen, and it's all filled with the same stuff. It's this flat and tasteless blue substance. Then he checks the bookshelves on the shelf. They are real, but the pages are blank. He realizes this is not Earth. This is just a copy, built from television signals that left Earth decades ago and were picked up by someone, something out there. So then we move into chapter 44, which is titled Reception. And Bowman lives in this hotel suite. Days pass, then weeks, then months, but time is strange here. His beard grows long, then vanishes. His meals reappear exactly as they were. He tries to break a glass. It shatters, then reforms in his hand. He screams at the ceiling. He demands to know who is watching him. There is no answer. The TV keeps playing old game shows, and he realizes he is a zoo animal. The beings who built this place are studying him. They have given him everything a human might need, except freedom and answers. One day, a monolith appears in the middle of the room. It stands there, black and silent, just like the one on the moon. Bowman walks up to it. He touches it. It's cold. It does not move. It is waiting. Then we go into chapter 45, which is titled Recapitulation. Standing in front of the monolith, Bowman remembers everything. He sees the dawn of man in Africa 3 million years ago. He sees Moonwatcher, the man-ape, pick up a bone and use it as a weapon. He sees the bone turn into a spaceship. He sees the monolith on the moon sending a signal towards Saturn. He sees Hal go mad. He sees his crewmates die. He understands now the monoliths were placed by an ancient, super advanced civilization. They are not gods, they are teachers. They have been watching life evolve for billions of years. When a species shows promise, when it builds tools, when it looks out to the stars, they push it forward. The monolith on the moon was a test. Humanity passed. Bowman is the reward. The monolith opens, a tunnel of light pours out. Bowman steps into it. His body dissolves, his mind expands. He is no longer flesh, he is energy. He is thought, he is free. Let me get into chapter 46, which is titled Transformation. Bowman is reborn. The alien intelligence rebuilds him, not as a man, but as something new. He becomes a fetus of pure energy, glowing inside a sphere of light. He is immortal. He can travel faster than light. He can move planets with a thought. They send him home. In an instant, he is back in the solar system. Earth is below him, blue and fragile. The moon is bright. The Discovery is a tiny speck near Saturn. He is a star child. And then lastly, we move into the final chapter of 2001: A Space Odyssey. And this is titled Star Child. The Star Child looks down, who was once David Bowman. He looks down to Earth. He sees the cities, the oceans, the clouds. He also sees the nuclear missiles in orbit, thousands of them, ready to destroy everything. With a thought, he reaches out. Every warhead explodes at once, not on Earth, but high in space. The flashes are silent. No one dies. The weapons are gone. People of Earth look up. They see the glowing sphere in the sky. Some fall to their knees. Some run in terror. Some weep. The Star Child does not speak. He does not explain. He is beyond words. He is the next step. Humanity's childhood is over. A new age has begun. So that is part 6 of 2001: A Space Odyssey. What I got out of those last couple of chapters, I enjoyed the beginning of those chapters, 41, 42, 43, even to 44 and 45, before his transformation. I enjoyed Arthur C. Clarke's telling of the Stargate and how there's all these stars and colors, and you can see stars form and stars collapse. You can see black holes. You can see strings of light and universes create and dissolve. Like, I really enjoyed all that. I liked how when Bowman was in this Stargate, this intelligent being gave him a glimpse of Earth from a unique perspective, but how he was living out a life, but not really living out a life. So I really enjoyed those chapters. I thought it was thought-provoking and entertaining. And then we get into 46 and 47, especially the Star Child. Not a huge Star Child. I'm not a fan. I should say I'm not a fan of the Star Child reference. To me, that's something more demonic. I see alien life form as demonic life form. Also, I just didn't like the fact that here, even though Bowman doesn't become a god, he's very godlike, where he can essentially dictate humanity's future, which I think is an interesting perspective. So yeah, that's my breakdown of 2001: A Space Odyssey. I hope you all enjoyed it. I don't have a lot of additional commentary on any philosophical thoughts. If you have anything that you want to bring up in the comments, please do so. If you like this video, give me a like. If you enjoy this content, please subscribe. We'll be back in a couple of weeks to do a breakdown of Common Sense by Thomas Paine. I hope you all enjoy your week. Have a blessed day.